and most of the content for the sake of time, because we'll see all the lectures. So we said that people learn in different ways, and we actually mentioned the importance of knowing my learning style and the learning style of others. Know my learning style to study better, and if I know the learning style of others, I can teach them and can work in groups with them. We said that we have 4 learning styles: visual, auditory, read and write, and kinesthetic learning styles. The visual learning style, actually this is the most prevalent style, the most preferred maybe style. Okay, but actually we said before that the people learn in different styles. Yani not only, yani it's difficult to find someone who is purely of a kind, purely of one style. Okay. They prefer to see the information, actually see pictures, charts, and so on. But we said that we have 2 types of visual learners. We have the verbal visual learner and the non-verbal visual learner. The verbal, we said before that they prefer the written information, so they can picture the information, picture the text in the box in their minds when they in the exams, for example, they can easily see this picture and answer the questions in the exam, for example. And the non-verbal ones prefer the pictures, the graphs, the pictures, the images, photos, and so on. Okay. Yani this is clear, no need to read now. We have seen these 2 examples for the girl and the boy. The girl is she is a verbal visual learner. Actually, she just puts this in her mind while reading the instructions. She just take a picture of the words, the text in front of her, and during doing the task, she can remember that and do the task. The boy doesn't even read the instructions. He has the picture of the toy in his mind, and he's just doing what he has seen in the toy shop. Study tips: sit near the door, flashcards, visualize things to hear, and so on. And I think these are. If you have any queries, any questions while I'm running the presentation, just tell me. Okay, just stop me at any time. اتفضلي. مش memorization as they are يعني, but you need to know them يعني, you need to understand them يعني. Now this guy, the visual learner, will sit near the front of the classroom in order to see better. The auditory, you'll see that he can sit anywhere where the voice is clearer, okay, so he can hear better and so on. So just understanding them, but actually they are easy يعني examples يعني. So the auditory ones who hear the information spoken, he prefer to hear the information spoken. They can even read aloud to themselves to يعني hear يعني their voice to learn. They can use the podcasts and these issues, so they can absorb a lecture with little effort and don't need to take careful notes. Okay. Study tips: again, sit where you can hear better, and do a checkup of your hearing every now and then. Reading for themselves or listening to other, and working in groups, study groups, or study with a study buddy. This will help them learn better. For the reading writing learning style, we said that they prefer information presented in written form. They like to read, and when they read, they like to write. After writing, they read what they have written. So this is different from the kinesthetic type, which they they only write for the sake of moving their hands, doing some kinesthetic movements while they are studying. Okay, so they enjoy reading. They take detailed notes, and actually the detailed notes during the lectures, they will read these notes, and they will take it in a neat way in order to be able to read them and benefit from them later. Again, not like the other ones in the kinesthetic learning style. They prefer to receive instructions and explanations in written form rather than hearing them. Okay. They express themselves in better in writing. We said before that they can write an email in a very good way, and they can express themselves in writing the emails, but not in like taking phone calls and so on. The study tips, again, they are easy. If you have any problem, yeah, and you can stop me. Are you following with the okay? The last learning style is the kinesthetic learning style. We said that this guide prefers touch and motions, and we can say that learning through physical activity and hands-on experience. They learn through physical activity and hands-on experience. They prefer the learning situations where there is like hands-on training, there is like role playing, there is something they can do by themselves. If there is nothing like that, they can even move their hands, move their legs, and so on. In traditional lecture situation, they should write out important facts. They create study sheets connected to vivid examples, as I said before. If they are studying like the biceps muscle, they can do this movement so that they can just touch the muscle and so on. This will help them learn. هتمشي؟ انت اخدت البصمه، عايز تمشي؟ ليه؟ طب وهنا مش في محاضره برضو ولا ايه؟ لا اجلس لو سمحت. يعني we said before that they are learning better when they are yo-yoing or stuttering, walking, typing, coloring, and chewing. Typing here actually just for the sake of movement, of moving their fingers. Study tips for the kinesthetic learners. يعني most importantly, participating in activities that involve like moving, touching, building, role playing, and so on. Okay. And always remember, we should know that as medical students, you are mixed. You are not purely of a kind. When we did the exercise of learning style inventory, no one of you found that he is in one learning style and the other ones took 0. Maybe some learning style can take 0, but they are either unimodal, bimodal, trimodal, or mixed or multi-modal. Okay. The second lecture was on setting and achieving goals. We said that no need actually for these quotes. Goals are well defined. You must keep by heart. تفضل. نعم. تجيب الايبود، بس انت مش هتجيبه وتيجي على هنا، انت هتجيبه وتروح على المكتب عشان تدرس هنا. طيب ماشي. Well defined plans aimed at achieving a specific result. This is the definition of goals. They are like the road maps we said before. It's like a course of action. They reflect your values and priorities. You put the goals that will meet your values or satisfy your values and your priorities in life, your career as a medical student, and so on. So the definition of goal setting is the process of identifying goals that an individual or organization aims to achieve. So if you are identifying the goal, this is what we call what we mean by goal setting. Involves in developing an action plan designed to motivate and guide the person or group. So why we set goals? Direction and focus help you for motivation, accountability, personal and professional growth, decision making. We said that there are 4 types of goals. The first type is the immediate goal, which is due or the range of time is few hours to a few days. The short term, week to an academic term. The intermediary goal up to 1 year or more, 1 or 2 years, for example. The long-term goal will be achieved within years. It needs years actually to be achieved, like graduating with an excellent grade in the MD programs, like after 6 years from now. Again, we said the levels, again, they are the same, and these are examples for the goals. We said that يعني, when you are going from the shorter term to the long term, the number of goals are decreasing. It's logic. And you have the long-term goals you have, they are only like 2 or 3 goals maximum. Okay, but you can have like many immediate goals, like completing an essay writing by 2 p.m. tomorrow. So you have essay writing in like 2 or 3 subjects. You have an assignment in another one subject. You have to do something. You have to go to the laundry. You have. So there are many actually. But when you go up this pyramid, you will find that there are only a few. We have spoken about the SMART goals, and we said that SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Sorry. Yeah, and no need actually to go through all of them. We have spoken about the goal setting strategies. We said that we'll focus on 2 strategies. The first one is using a goal organizer, like a chart that consists of 6 questions. We said these 6 questions before. What is your goal? Benefit of achieving the goal? Consequences of not achieving the goal? Obstacles that may face you while you are achieving or working on the goals? How can you deal with the obstacles? It's not only knowing the obstacles, but also, most importantly, how to deal with the obstacles. The 6th question is, what people or resources could help you? What are the available resources for you actually to achieve the goal? تفضل.
Doctor, can you explain, do we need to memorize these questions? Or
Yes.
understand the concept of the goal?
Yes, but not memorize word by word. But you must know that the questions you need to ask are about what is the goal, what the benefit, consequences, available resources, the obstacles, how to overcome the obstacles, and so on. Not necessarily in بالترتيب يعني. Okay. تفضلي.
Can you explain also the difference between intermediate goal and long-term goal?
Okay, so you can see the difference from the example. So you mean the immediate, intermediate and long term. So the intermediate will be within like 1 or 2 years maximum. Okay, but for the long term goal, it will take years, and you can say years. And if you are speaking about 1 year or 2 years, it's difficult to find someone saying in years, because you can easily say it in 1 year, in 2 years. Okay, but for the long-term goal, we say in years. This means that there are numerous years, several years. Sorry.
So we can't measure the long-term goals.
You can't measure.
We can or we cannot.
You can. Okay, we said before that you are like breaking the long-term goal or the bigger goal into smaller ones, and make them like milestones, so that you can measure one by one. One leads to the other, but immediately, directly measuring the long-term goal is not logic, because as we said, it needs like 6 years from now. But after the 6 years, خلاص, you reached the graduation, you can turn around and look at your path, your goal. Have I achieved it or not? Okay. So, sorry. Yes, this is okay. The second strategy is using the ABC. There are different strategies, many strategies actually, as we mentioned, but we are committed to only 2 strategies here: the 6 questions and this ABC methods, like goal setting strategy to prioritize your goals according to rank of importance. So, you put the goals, prioritize them, A, B, C, or A, B, or C goals. And you start actually with the goals that are urgent or of more priority, which are the A goals, or the goals that fall in the A category. We have spoken about the 4-step approach for achieving goals. Step 1, which is set the SMART goal, and this has been mentioned before. Step 2, set a specific target, date, and time. And I think you are expert actually in this now, after we took the lecture and we did the exercise. You did the exercise in a very well way actually. That time, identify the steps involved in reaching the goals, and then planning a reward for yourself. And we said that the reward can be intrinsic or extrinsic. You can use both. This is an example only, and you can see it in your slides. No need to discuss it again. We are talking about the roadblocks, and we call them like obstacles or challenges. These are the obstacles or challenges that may hinder progress and make it difficult to stay on track. Okay, the roadblocks in your path. You are walking towards your goal, you'll find roadblocks. So you have to overcome these. You have to you have to remove them and so on. Okay. He said that there are internal road blocks and external roadblocks that you can avoid. These are the internal, and actually they are the roadblocks that arise from within yourself. The external roadblocks come from outside, and we gave examples actually of the roadblocks. They are easy. If you have any query regarding them, you can ask me, but they are easy. No need to waste time for them. Tips for overcoming the goals. We said before that there are many tips actually to overcome the goals. The roadblocks, either internal or external roadblocks. Again, if you have any questions, you can just tell me. Motivation, is very important to speak about motivation, which is a crucial driving force for you. And we said before that there are two types of motivation. The first one is internal motivation. The second one is external motivation. It's like the roadblocks. One is internal, one is external or intrinsic. Extrinsic, internal comes from within you, and it's like the satisfaction or passion for a task. The external comes from outside, from people around you, and so on. This is how motivation helps you actually initiating action, sustaining effort, and providing direction. Provides you with direction. So, any questions in the goal setting? Okay, no questions. Well, time management. Okay. Hany, only no time for the quotes and the. Okay, present. Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control over the amount of time to spend on specific activities to increase your productivity and your efficiency. Actually, this is the goal of time management, is to increase efficiency and productivity through control over your time, or over the time available for you for different tasks. It's very important. We know the importance of time management when we know the threats or the problems of poor time management, like cramming before exams, burnout and anxiety, missing deadlines, and so on. Okay, and the benefits or the merits of good time management, which leads to covering all the subjects and being ready for the exam, reducing stress, and so on. If you have any questions, again, please stop me at any time. We have spoken about the common time wasters, and you agreed with me that the social media is on the top of the time of the list of time wasters. Passive study techniques, long study sessions without breaks, and we have spoken about the Pomodoro technique. We'll see now. Non-strategic study planning, which is focusing on low-yield subjects and leaving the high-yield subjects or high-yield topics that may give you, be good for you in the exam. Unfocused study groups that are turned into social gatherings, ineffective note-taking, just copying from the text without summarizing, without doing any effort. Multitasking, we said before that it's a myth that multitasking is productive, and human actually is not a multitasker, is not a successful multitasker. Switching between tasks can reduce the efficiency by up to 40% due to brain's cognitive switching load or cost. So your brain have to switch from task to task. This will take time to accommodate with the new task, to leave one task and focus on another task that is different. So it will take time, and this will cost your brain like much of its effort. Unorganized study spaces that will make you all the time searching for your stuff to study. There are good practices. These are the good practices in time management: effective planning. People يعني who effectively plan for themselves, they are successful. So effective planning, يعني you said before, you have like a to-do list, and you can allocate suitable time for each activity in this to-do list, completing pending tasks one by one. يعني setting goals. We'll not speak about setting goals. Setting deadlines. Very important to set deadlines for yourself, and يعني this will give you like a sense of urgency and keep you focused on completing the task. You can ask yourself how much time I need to devote to each particular task. Set deadlines for every task and be committed to strictly following the deadlines, and allow nothing to distract you from meeting the deadlines. Switch off the phones, the TV, the computer, going away from people who can distract you, and so on. Time blocking, we spoke about time blocking, which is allocating blocks of time to specific activities, and make it like, خلاص, this is closed for this activity. Nothing can be done at this specific time in this 1 hour or 2 hours. I will do nothing except doing this task in this time. The breaks and rest is very important to prevent burnout, to prevent stress and burnout, and to improve productivity. I was talking about the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of focused work followed by 5 minutes break. So it's very effective actually to maintain and renew actually the energy all through the day. Delegation of responsibilities. We said before that you need to delegate some responsibilities. The responsibilities that are not important, that are not يعني of the same importance, like studying, for example. You can delegate this to some other people so that you can focus on important ones. Spending the right time on the right activity, develop the habit of doing the right things at the right time. We said before that you cannot study after the exam, or no need for studying after the exam. If you are studying for the exam, so after the exam, خلاص, no need, you know. Keep some time separate for your personal affairs, of course. And last thing we spoke about is the prioritization of activities according to their importance. So prioritizing tasks and activities is a fundamental aspect of effective time management. Very important. Prioritization is very important, and procrastination also is very important. One of them is positive prioritization and very useful for time management. The other one is the negative aspect, which is procrastination. We shall see in a while. Okay, so you must. Okay, we have seen this example together. These are the this is the experiment of the jar and the sand, pebbles, and rocks. We said before that the rocks are the major tasks, important ones. The pebbles are the less important, and the sand, the trivial issues, trivial things in your day. So if you are starting, with the sand, you will not find. Eventually, you will not find time for the big tasks or the important tasks in your day, in your jar, which is your day. So you must do the reverse to add the rocks or the major tasks, major activities in the beginning. Then you can put the pebbles, the الأحجار الصغيرة, and at last you will find, if you find time for the sand, you can add it. If no time, خلاص. But you'll find time in your. If you are organizing your day like that, you'll find time for the trivial issues even. We have spoken about the Eisenhower matrix, or the urgent important matrix. We said before that this matrix contains 4 quadrants. The first, based on the matter or the task or the activity, whether it's urgent or not urgent, important or not important. So urgent and important, you do it first. Urgent and not important, you delegate it. It's urgent, must be done now, but you'll not do it yourself. You can delegate to someone else because it's trivial task. The not urgent but important, you can schedule it for coming time. And the last one is the not urgent, not important. You can delete it from your schedule, or if you have if you have time for this send. You can add it later. If you don't have time, then you can delete it from your schedule. These are the characteristics of good people: organized, don't misuse time, and they are focused. Those people who have good time management skills. Time management tools, and there are tools and techniques that can help you manage your time, like digital calendars, like time management apps. Also batching tasks, or batching tasks mean putting the tasks, the similar tasks together and finish them in one time slot, to avoid what we mentioned before, which is the switching between the tasks, the brain switching between the tasks, and losing energy and losing much time in this switching. Sorry. We spoke about the 2 minutes rule. If the task can be done in less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Don't leave trivial tasks or easy tasks that can take 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes hanging around you and be always in your mind. No, خلاص يعني in Egypt we say اقطع عرق وسيح دمه، يعني خلاص يعني هو أنا هعملها واخلص منها. I'll do it and finish it once and for all, in order not to leave it hanging around my mind. Procrastination. We've spoken about procrastination. It's very important. This is the thief of time and the enemy of success, actually. Procrastination, the act of delaying or postponing decisions or tasks that may be more challenging or less enjoyable. So this is the definition: delaying or postponing decisions or tasks that may be more challenging or less enjoyable. So this is the delaying or postponing, because they are actually we don't like actually such tasks, so we usually procrastinate. We said that there are 3 forms of procrastination. The first one is active procrastination. This occurs when individuals intentionally delay tasks to use the pressure of a looming deadline as motivation, and we said that this is dangerous. Don't test yourself in this. Don't say I'll postpone it until the last minute, and I know that the pressure will make me do it. When you reach the deadline, you will not find time to do that. Some people can do that actually, but they are trained on that. They know themselves. They tried themselves before, and so on. The second form is passive procrastination, which is avoiding the task entirely, which leads actually to anxiety and decreased productivity. We have also the chronic procrastination. This is procrastination or persistent procrastination that impacts various areas of life and can be linked to deeper psychological issues like anxiety. Those people are always anxious. They have psychological problems and distresses actually from the chronic procrastination. Also, it leads to low self-esteem, and we said before that you can get into a vicious circle. Low procrastination, low self-esteem. This will lead to more procrastination, and this will lead to low self-esteem, and so on. Cause of procrastination, we said before that it may be because of fear of failure, and this is understandable, but fear of success, it was paradoxical, but we explained it before. تفضل.
What's the difference between procrastination and the others? Passive procrastination could be also chronic.
Okay. Passive procrastination could be transformed to chronic procrastination. When it is procrastinating everything and all the time, and this leads to anxiety and to stress, this is what we call chronic procrastination. Chronicity here means over the time. Many times he procrastinates over long periods of time. Everything in his life or her life procrastinate. This will lead to chronic procrastination. You cannot call it chronic procrastination unless it causes psychological problems like anxiety. Those people actually are anxious. They go to the psychiatrist and they receive treatment for anxiety. You see? But passive procrastination may be in 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks, half of the tasks, and so on. Okay. the causes of procrastination. We said before, fear of failure, fear of success, and perfectionism. Some people who are perfectionists, they don't, whatever they do good, they feel that they did not do this good, and this will make them, or could make them, procrastinate for the fear that their work will not meet their expectations. Again, mental overwhelm, or the large volume of material you need to study for the exam, lack of interest, you are not interested in this subject, so you procrastinate it, and also the distractions. If you have constant notifications from the smartphones, for example, or social media, it will lead you to focus on them and leave the task. Then you'll procrastinate. Okay, I'll do it later. You'll not find time in your day, in your jar, so you'll procrastinate to a coming day. There are strategies to overcome procrastination. Setting clear goals. This is very important. Breaking tasks into smaller ones. This will make it manageable tasks, not big ones. So this can encourage you to avoid procrastination. Using time management techniques, as we said before, like the Pomodoro technique. Setting deadlines for yourself, which we call self-imposed deadlines, and this will create a sense of urgency and make you finish the task without procrastination. Practice self-compassion. Have a clutter-free study or work area. If you have like clean and clutter-free area, good space for studying, this will هيفتح نفسك للمذاكرة. Maintaining work-life balance. We said before that it's very important to maintain, and this is easy actually. No need to spend time on it. Okay. Any questions in this lecture? تفضلي.
If we know the strategies on how to waste time and not the explanation, or we need to know both?
The explanation is to understand. And you know that this is the strategy, but what is meant by this strategy?
You can just understand.
You can. Okay.
So the next topic is writing and presentation skills. So whenever there is a definition, please pay attention to the definition. For example, here, presentation, what is the presentation? It's a process of communicating knowledge, thoughts, ideas, or research results to specific
Rashana?
definition. Yes. And also the 4 components of presentation circuit: presenter, audience, message, and the context. Please remember, the questions will not be all questions direct question, okay? Some of the questions, or at least half of the question, out of 40 questions, 20 of them will be scenario based. For example, Mariam wants to present a topic. What is the first step she has to do? Okay, options will be arrange the subtopics as outline, do the proofreading, arrange reference, do the table of contents, choose an appropriate topic. So what is the first step? Outside? Outline. Even before preparing outline. How will you prepare outline if you don't know the topic? So first step is choosing a topic. And then we may ask you, how do you choose the topic? There may be 5 options. You have to choose the most appropriate option. Okay. It should be a trending topic in social media, or a very rare topic, or a very unique topic, something done by the friend already, and the other option will be in alignment with the objective. Okay. So in alignment with the objective means if the talk is on climate change, the topic should be climate change or something related. Like I told you, for assignment, choose a topic from anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. So the topic should be in alignment with the objective. So there could be a question on what are the recommended resources? So we have to know, we have to be familiar with the different types of recommended resources, and definition of bibliography, arranging the references in a particular order at the end of your assignment is called bibliography. And can we use any software to help in arranging your reference? The answer is reference management system. So what is an outline? This is a definition of outline. Organizing the notes into topic, subtopic, details and subdetails it's called outline. And what will you do after forming an outline? What is the next step? Now you have an outline. What is the next step? You will convert outline to rough draft. Okay, after rough draft, what is the next step? You will submit the rough draft? No, you will review, revise, make changes, and then what is the next step after making the after revising and making the changes? Just before submitting, would you like to check for spelling mistake, grammar? What do you call that process? Proof reading. Okay, yeah. So the next step is writing the draft. See, these are the main outline, rough draft, revise, edit, and proofread. Organize a bibliography. So these are the commonly used reference management system, mainly Mendeley, EndNote, ReferWorks, Zotero, and BibMe. Just remember some of the common names. And also we need to know reference styles. What are the reference styles we can think of? These are the examples: APA, Oxford, Harvard, Chicago, and Vancouver. So we might say one of the following is a reference management system. Give you 5 options. One of the following is the reference style. Then give you 5 options and ask you to find out. Of course, any assignment should have a title page. What are the components of the title page? Name of the title of your paper, your name, date, and the institution name. So we will give 5 options and ask you to identify which need not be the title of the paper. Title page. The second page usually table of contents. Okay. Now we go to the presentation. For presentation, what are the 3 P's? What is the order? Can you prepare for anything? First step is planning. We have to plan. After you plan, you prepare. After you prepare, you present. Yes. So it should be in the same order. Planning, we know you have to have a goal. And for preparation, when you do your PowerPoint, it should have 3 components. This is important. The first few slides, you introduce the topic. And then the middle slides, you talk about the topic. And the last few slides, you summarize the topic. So there has to be 3 components in your presentation. Just like your assignment, here also first slide is called the title slide or cover slide. Just like your assignment, the second thing, table of contents, here it is list of objectives. Slide structure, if it is a 15-minute presentation, we don't want 50 slides or 100 slides. For every minute, try to keep 1 slide, or depending on the content, you can have 1 to 2 slides per minute. And write in points, not big sentence, just like this, write in bullet points, avoid too many. These are the rules to be followed. Animation use, you have to be very careful. We will give you 5 options. One of the following is the good practice, or we will say one of the following is the bad practice. So what is a good practice? Using simple and consistent animation. These are the good practices. You should not use distracting animation or different types for different slide or noisy animation. Coming to fonts type, recommended fonts. Just be familiar with these are the fonts which are recommended. And we don't recommend other fonts which are very curvy, very stylish. No. And please remember these sizes. For the main text, 40, the title 40 point, subtitle 32, the content 24, and for footnote, we can use font size 12. Capital letters, where can we use capital letters? It's not advisable to have all the sentences, all the slides as capital letters. Why? It is very hard for the brain to read. This is the main reason. But can we use capital letters? Yes, for acronyms, for emphasizing a particular idea. Same thing goes for italics. It can be used for emphasize or quotes or highlight your thoughts or ideas. Font color, just remember one rule: dark font with light background, or light font with dark background. So the contrast should be very clear. So we will give you some examples and ask which one of them is preferred and which one is not a preferred one. Okay, and don't use distracting backgrounds. Okay. Coming to graph, we may give a scenario. So and so wants to explain the fluctuation in the temperature of patient for past 3 days or for past 1 week. Which one is the recommended option? A, explain in paragraphs. B, tell orally to the colleague. C, type in a Word document. Like that, we will give 5 options, and one of the option will be graph. So anything trend, you want to show the trend or variation over a period of time, it's always better to use graph. Why? Because one of the easiest, main reason is easier to visualize. Okay. And conclusion, why conclusion is important? To have take home message, or to summarize what you have said, we need to have a conclusion. Okay. And you have to ask the audience if they have any questions. And coming to presentation, this is very easy. There are 18 tips on presentation. It's more of common sense. Okay. How you have to dress properly, you have to introduce yourself before you speak. It's good to maintain eye contact. You should not imitate others. You have to stand and face the audience, not show your back. And your hand movements and body movements should be optimal. It should not be too much or too less. Yes.
Question about the chart and the graph.
Yeah.
Is it not recommended for us to use charts?
You can use, if especially if the content has too many information which is easy for you to visualize, you can use chart, graph, or flow chart, or any diagram for that matter. Voice modulation, use silence effectively, avoid jargon, manage your time well, use humor judiciously, maintain the interest, practice ahead, stay calm, and thank the audience at the end. So be familiar with these 18 points. So we will give one of the option is correct or one of the option is wrong. Just go through the option and select based on what is being asked. So now we go to the next topic, that is I think teamwork. Oh, it's not here. Okay. It's again, definition. What is a team? What is a team? A group of individuals who share goals, commitment, and skills. Any definition, we can modify 1 or 2 words and ask them as one of the options. So be familiar with the all definition and look for the keywords. So this is the definition of a team. Share goals, commitment, and skills. So why do we study about that? In healthcare, we have different teams, and in education also, we learn in teams. So there are a few examples we may give: a problem-based learning session, or a surgical team, or a emergency room. We'll give some scenarios and ask you if it fulfills the criteria of the team. Okay. The ideal number 8 to 12, and it is a learner centered setting. So in a team, we usually depend on the group members and we take active participation in achieving the goal. And why is it so important? Because it helps you to know how to work collaboratively, and also it improves problem solving, decision making, and makes you involve actively. Stages of team development, you may have different scenarios. For example, if I ask you, a team in PBL team is fighting with each other, they have disagreement, and they have who have to do what is this stage? They are fighting, there is conflict, there is disagreement. So which stage will you choose? Storming, correct. If my scenario is more subtle and say they agree on roles and responsibilities, they delegate or they decide who should do what part. What is this stage? Norming, correct. And introducing each other becomes forming, and if they start achieving, celebrate their accomplishment, that is performing. So just look for the keywords, what the emotion, the structure, the behavior. For each stage, it is different. So if you are familiar with these words, I think it's very easy for you to identify. Okay. I think definition of a team, as you said, it is a small group of individuals who share goals, and this is not part of the team. It is a group of 8 to 12 learners. It's a learner-centered setting, and I think that's it. Okay, yeah, be familiar with the just the names. Sometimes we'll give you a scenario and ask you to identify which type of challenging team member is this person. Okay, so look at the scenario and see where they fit. If the scenario says they keep arguing with each other, then argumentative. If we say a student is always cracking jokes, so it's very easy for you to find out. Just be familiar with different types of challenging behavior. Again, these are the ground rules. Just go through them, and we might ask you one of the following is not a recommended ground rule. Then you should be familiar. Yes, what makes a successful team? Please remember, these are the characteristics of a successful team: common purpose, measurable goals, respect, communication, conflict resolution. Okay, if you have any questions on these two topics, please let me know. Next topic, Dr. Hany. Student assessment. Do we
have time actually. So
ask them if they have.
okay, so we don't have time now. It's 10:50. Do you have time for the remaining lessons? Okay. Good. Okay, I'll not take much time. We are left with two topics: adult and independent learning. And we said before that as people progress from childhood to adulthood, they progress also in, or they change their mode of learning. This is why universities shift from teacher-centered education, which we call pedagogy, to learner-centered education, which is called andragogy. يعني no need for this. We have some definitions. Only the definition of learning. Let's give time to people to leave. So long-term change in behavior. We said before that if there is no change in behavior, this means that you did not learn. It's the act of acquiring new or modifying and reinforcing existing knowledge, behavior, skills, values, and preferences. Definition of principle: a fundamental fact on which other truths can be built, as like the basic principles of Islam, and nadariya or theory, a system of ideas intended to explain something like the Darwin's theory of evolution. The learning theories, the definition here is the underlying mechanisms. What are the mechanisms that happen inside the brain, inside the psyche, to explain the learning? It's like an attempt to describe how people learn. We said before that there are different learning theories. One of them, as an example, the constructivism theory. Learning strategies. We said before that each one of you must have some learning strategy. It's like an approach for you to help yourself understand information and solve problems. A person's approach to learning. We mentioned the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy means educating children, or children education. Andragogy, it's like helping adults learn. You don't teach adults actually, but you help them learn. You explain to them, you guide them, you facilitate learning for them. Maybe sometimes you can lecture them for some time, explain the different concepts, and so on. But it's called helping adults learn. These are the differences. I think they are easy to know. We have 8 principles of adult learning. The first one is adults are autonomous and self-directed. Adults bring a wealth of background knowledge and life experiences to learning contexts. The adults actually have accumulated lots and lots of experiences from their over their lifespan, so they prefer to use such experience or such accumulated experiences in new learning situations. They can link between the experience they have from before and the new learning situations. Adults are goal-oriented. They like to put goals for themselves. As you mentioned in the goal-setting lecture, adults are relevancy-oriented and like to apply what they learn. They like to apply what they learn. They like actually to learn what is applicable to their career and their...
11 o'clock pathology classes.
Really?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? So 5 minutes? Okay, adults are intrinsically and extrinsically motivated to learn. Adults learn best when they are active participants in the learning process. They like to participate in learning, doing something with their hands, participating in discussions, and so on. Adults learn more effectively when given timely and constructive feedback on their learning. We mentioned the feedback as a very important component of the learning process. Adults have different learning styles or preferences, as we mentioned in the learning styles lecture. The tips for application, I think they are easy. If you have any query, any concern, you can just ask me, stop me at any time while I'm just showing the slides. I think it's easy to understand. By the way, if you have any queries, any concerns, any questions at any time, don't wait for the office hours, or any time you can come to me or Dr. Archana at any time to ask about anything you would like to ask in the lectures regarding the assignment and so on. Adults have different learning preferences, as we mentioned before. So also it's like a short note about the independent learning. It's like a process in which the student takes increasing responsibility for 5 things: identifying their needs to know, searching for and gaining knowledge on their own, learning on their own with minimum supervision. We said here minimum supervision, not no supervision. So they are still need some sort of guidance, some sort of supervision, and so on. This is why the teachers are there as facilitators of learning and motivators and so on, actively seeking ways to solve their learning problems and assessing the learning to see if they have met their need to know or to learn. And this is a short story. We said that independent learning actually is not simply abandoning lectures and telling students to learn on their own, placing the responsibility for learning entirely on the students. It's not like that. This is not independent learning actually. Okay, independent learning is actually a different way of helping students learn, facilitating students to learn increasingly on their own. Increasingly, يعني as يعني the يعني the more they learn, the more they يعني attain a responsibility for their learning. These are the differences between learning dependent and independent learners. Again, it's easy. If you have any doubts, you can just tell me. These are the teacher's role in independent learning: facilitator of learning, designer of learning activities, motivator of students, supervisor, resource person. He's still subject matter expert and resource person, evaluator of student progress, feedback provider, and that's all for this topic. It's a very easy topic. They have class now. خلاص لا خلاص for the remaining one they can ask. Okay, for the last lecture on student assessment, you can come anytime to our office if you have any questions. Okay. Thank you.
So this is your printer.
Hmm?
Your printer.
Yes.